in Week 8. The Browns dominated their first matchup against the Bengals. Can Cincinnati get revenge? Find out next.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They're led out by a former #2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, and Zach Wilson.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 14 carries, 111 for yards, and a touchdown. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
This is caught. It's Boyd. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Brandon, we saw these defenders run into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 19th touchdown now of the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. Let's go, baby. Turn it over. Get that.
Throwing is Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much. Do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip.
They go with Chubb on second down. Chubb will have the first down and much more. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Browns lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now 14-0.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On second and 12, Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field.
And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right?
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Elliott going to get it again on second down.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season, with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed, because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games. Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break.
Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Browns.
Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch. Chubb.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Browns are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the rout is on here in this first half.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A first down carry by Elliott doesn't amount to much, as he'll get forward for about a couple.
Now, these two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. He gets it to Cooks. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Here's Wilson. Airing one out for Boyd. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted And spotted at the 14-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Anthony Schwartz.
Touchdown number 18 on the year.
And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
7 yards, the pickup there.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. You got nothing. You got nothing. Everybody, Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20.
To throw is Wilson. And this one is incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Cleveland offense making their way out.
They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off the play fake. Ross. He's going to go up top again. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Don't you do that.
Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
53 is the mic.
Throwing on 1st down. Ross. Buying time to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Let's go!
A big play there on the catch and run. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the...
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Get ready.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but Mike.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I look, what? All right, never mind. Third quarter action now. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them, so what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play that time for Cleveland.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
154 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looking to throw. Ross, flush to his right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it is 42-0.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of Boyd. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything, and here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want me. Hey, Mike 20, Mike.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He completes it to Boyd. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Wilson's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man and try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
A first down carry by Elliott. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. And Myers able to knock it through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why? This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown. A great play there. With touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Browns are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Blankenship out to kick off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
They can't stop us.
He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off. He rifles one that's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Myers connects on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe,
and that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland.
Even with a big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Now Ross on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Back to throw again. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
Yeah, the Browns are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Again, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
Ross now looking to throw on 2nd down. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
He'll find Schwartz complete right side.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw, as this play will stand as is. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Ross, off play action, steps away. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Off play action. Ross flushed out right. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now Blankenship on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Cincinnati set to take over once again. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Browns are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle. That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
It's been a long day for you. Mike 18, Mike.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.